Alright, I finally watched a movie that gives sinners a damn run for its V-Bucks and is getting glazed more severely than the chocolate syrup on ice cream, and that's Weapons, the movie about 18 kids from the same classroom except for one running away from home like they're Knuckles the Echidna at 2:17 a.m. and nobody knows why. So this whole movie is a mystery for why that's the case. Like, did it have to do with the teacher? Why was the young boy spared? Things like that. Now, right off the bat, the movie I don't think should be getting as much praise as it's getting right now. It's not as good as Sinners, and it's barely as good as Companion, but still, I enjoyed the movie nonetheless. This was super mysterious, thrilling. It was also way more funny than I thought it was gonna be. Like, there is some gore and some jump scares here and there, but it didn't faze anyone in the theater I saw it in, and whenever something funny went down, especially near the end, it was hilarious. It hit and it made the movie better for me. Which makes sense because the director of Weapons is also a comedian, which, by the way, what is it with comedians being horror directors too? That's such a weird chain of events, but anyways, what do I like about this film? Well, right off the barnacles, the performances were intense and fierce, especially from Julia Garner and the kid Carrie Christopher. The movie also looks beautiful on that big screen. The actual mystery, like the plot of the story, was filled with paranoia and unsettlement, and that's partially because of how this movie is structured, because this film replays the same series of events about 6 times, but from perspectives of 6 different characters, that being a teacher, a parent of a lost kid, a principal, a cop, a homeless man, and the crying child from FNAF, which is very similar to The Last of Us Part 2, which is where we go through the same story but from the perspective of 2 different characters. And I like this form of storytelling because it feels like I'm connecting the dots on a map, which all eventually lead to one final destination, and you get to see how each character is uniquely dealing with this whole situation. However, my gripe with the film is how unfulfilling the ending was. Like, I do not like open-ended movies where they force you to use your imagination to continue the story. Like, no, that's too much work, just end the story and that's it. But yeah, it doesn't ruin the film. Weapons is still a great movie, and you should watch it in a cinema.